Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
What's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific counter himself, Zealeus.
It's good to see you on this quite beautifully gorgeous Thursday night.
Indubitably. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, of course, the Thursday night show, the Thursday Hangout. This is a live show. We try our best to cover the topics most important to you. If at any time during the show you have any topics or questions that you would like to submit to us, feel free to drop it in the chat. We'll try to add it to our show. If we do, unfortunately, run out of time, we will add it to the very next show. So, without further ado, a bit of news came out, and this is more up Zealeus' alley than mine. But apparently, Blizzard is going to remove the race restriction for Warlocks in World of Warcraft. And it's got a lot of people peeved, which I don't know enough of. I haven't played World of Warcraft for a long time. I know Zealeus has dabbled in the Warlock arts. So can you tell me why people would be angry?
My main, when I actually played WoW, was a human warlock of death and destruction to protect us from the evil horde. And basically, there's the lore of certain races. I honestly don't remember what races at this point because I haven't played in years and years and years and years and many years.
Right.
But there were lore reasons for why certain races could not be, warlocks, because warlocks, they conjure spirits and blah, 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 blah. It used to also be only, I think it was the Paladin was Alliance only, and the Shaman was Horde only. So they even used to be classes specific to Alliance versus Horde.
Mm-hmm.
And years ago, Blizzard did away with that. It's just kind of the idea of, really, from Blizzard's perspective, is making all things accessible to all races and alliances is kind of what it comes down to from their perspective.
So if you're just a hardcore World of Warcraft person who's into all the lore and stuff, that's who is getting really pissed then.
And there actually is, believe it or not, a lot of lore to World of Warcraft. Hell, they made a movie out of it.
Yes, but was it okay?
It was a notch below okay. It wasn't actually terrible. It was not the worst movie I've ever seen, honestly. But I wouldn't.
It wasn't you bowl bad.
No, it was not. They tried. It had some spirit. It was not bowl bad, but it was also not great by any stretch of the imagination. It was just a movie. That's as much as I could say. It was there. I saw it. I didn't feel like I wasted 2 hours of my life that I wish I could have back. Yeah. There's a lot of okay movies out there. This
is true. There are a lot of okay movies out there.
Yeah, it was a perfectly okay movie. Like many movies, you could see where it could have been better, or things were cut, or if they had more of XYZ, it would have been better. But obviously, that does not always happen. And it always amazes me how it doesn't happen, because it's did you actually ask a single human outside of your little Hollywood clique? Never the answer is no, but still.
Yes. So just, a heads up once again, at the end of this month is MomoCon. It's May 25th through the 28th at the Georgia World Congress Center here in Atlanta, Georgia. If you are in the area, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you come to MomoCon. It's an amazing convention. And of course, Alta Confusion will be there. And there is a video games changing for the good ? At 7:30 on Thursday night.
Nice.
Indeed. So come check it out. It's awesome. All right. The next bit of news is Twitter is doing weird shit again. Well, I don't know if I call it exactly weird shit, but they're going to enforce a policy that basically states that if you do not log into your account once every 30 days, your account will go bye-bye.
Here's the conundrum that's really happening with Twitter.
Yeah.
As they did away with the blue
The
check mark used to actually mean something in
Yep.
two ways. One is you actually knew it was coming from the person who they said it was. Like there's actually like a verification process in place. And yes, it was spoofed from time to time, but by and large, when a tweet came out from, Zealeus false confusion, like you knew it was that actual person.
Right.
But the other thing that's also very important about that is a lot of these accounts have not been logged into for months and months and years because they're celebrities of some sort.
Yep.
So just say like, I have no idea if he tweets. Let's say Justin Bieber, right?
Yeah.
Of course, everybody's going to want the Justin Bieber handle, right?
Yep.
And mostly celebrities went ahead and reserved it. They got the blue checkbox, which to me is perfectly reasonable. And now, if these accounts can be deleted, which I guess they will be, you're going to create the wild, wild west of Twitter. And I mean, Twitter was never, it always had its issues, obviously, in the past. But at least like when the tweets came out from specific people, you kind of knew what you were getting. Like, and that's what I actually use Twitter for the mostly. Like, I don't follow the conversation because the conversations on Twitter are just,
yeah.
I really just followed it for like following a couple of few key people in those topics. And then if I saw like the person, like I knew it was actually them, like they did a pretty good job. And like that knowledge is being very quickly eroded from Twitter of who it's become basically like a TikTok where you don't know what the hell you're going to get or who it's from.
True. My biggest concern is sports teams. Because the off season, they might tweet or they may not. If they don't have any news.
The Falcons forget to like log in for 32 days because like it's in between the draft and free agency and every other stuff. And they go to log back and it's like, oh, well, that's awesome. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers stole our Twitter and are now tweeting on our behalf.
Yep. I mean, let's think about this. You're right. There, you have all these celebrities. You have all these, big name companies, sports franchises, all that jazz, that may not utilize their social media that often, but they reserve the name. It's just like when you reserve a URL. I don't use all my URLs, but I have them so that no one else can have them.
It's a very popular thing where like companies will get like .net, .com, .org, and et cetera for that exact reason. Another one, the other issue that's come up too, which will continue to become a thing, are it sucks, but people have passed away.
Yeah, that's true.
And it becomes like a memorial to that person, for friends and family, et cetera. Remember them, and as people get older and social media becomes older, it's going to become more and more of a thing. Which I think, it's not great that the person died, but it's a neat thing to still have that memorial there for that person.
True.
And I would hate to see that all go by the wayside just because Elon Musk got in a pissing match with NPR.
Yeah. No, or even, with of course, if a famous person were to pass away tragically, someone were to scoop up their Twitter name, because of course they're not going to sign in after. Well, maybe their poltergeist will come back and just randomly tweet stuff. But then you have you got internet trolls that will abuse the shit out of being able to snatch up, an individual's Twitter handle because they no longer can use it. And then just spout absolute crap.
I'm like, what good purpose does this move actually serve? Like, I cannot imagine that the database of these users, really amount to any actual monetary value in terms of like the cost to Twitter to keep these users active. Can't be much, if anything at all.
No, it does not make sense whatsoever. But hey, last week we talked about Discord going to force a username change for everybody, and now this week we've got Twitter going to delete your Twitter handle if you don't log in every 30 days. Now, my question is, let's say that you don't actually directly use Twitter, but you have something that will post to Twitter from a different platform. So technically, I didn't log into Twitter, but whatever I'm posting, let's say Instagram,
I'm sure that would count because it's, well, let me rephrase that. It should count because probably
Yeah.
what it's using is an authentication token. So like from Instagram, it's not passing your, I'm assuming at least, the way it should work is it's not passing like, it's not like logging in as Zealeus every time I post from Instagram to Twitter.
Right.
At some point I set up that authentication token between the two to basically say, I am who I say I am. My assumption would be that auth token, if I do it once every 30 days at least, would, kind of your point, reset that 30 days.
Gotta
Now,
hope
the way
so.
Twitter's been run, who the hell actually knows?
I hope so, because otherwise Ultra Confused ZO is going to disappear.
Well, because in most businesses, though, that's how they run it, is they'd use a third-party service to basically tweet, Instagram, TikTok, whatever your other ones are, all on concurrently. And that's what they're doing, is they're using an authentication token to do it across the board from these platforms. So I would assume that would still count to the 30 days. It would be really fucking hilarious if that was like an oversight and it didn't, and you actually had to like log into Twitter. And like myself, like I can go 3 months without even thinking about logging into Twitter.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, and then I'll log in, I'll use it for a couple of weeks, and then I just don't. And usually for me, it's a lot of football people I follow, actually. It's like the off season of football, I don't think about Twitter. And then you get into college football and NFL, and then I start following again.
Right.
And I imagine a lot of users are the same way from Twitter. Like they use it for certain kind of niche things that they follow. Yeah.
Oh, how about this? How about a band who takes a break?
The Beatles.
The Beatles. But let's say that I'm trying to think of a band that has a side project. Like Tool takes some time off to go do Perfect Circle. The Tool takes a break and it's all Perfect Circle for a year. Are you saying that their Twitter handle is going to disappear?
Jerry Cantrell, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
He's got like 4 bands and he goes between bands. It's like, yeah, it's interesting. Or like some bands will, like when they're recording their albums, like they'll go into hibernation.
Yeah.
And they'll lock themselves away and you don't hear anything until like
they make the album.
Back. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't straight on if it was a login or a tweet, because some people are also speculating like you also had to tweet every so often.
Yeah,
because I don't tweet at all. Like
yeah.
I'm 100% a lurker. So again, you would kill the user base if you went that route.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people like yourself, they use Twitter as kind of like a news feed, where they don't actually produce anything. They're just there to consume content.
That's wacky.
There's got to be some kind of algorithm that if you have X amount of users, even if you don't tweet within 30 days, they're going to keep it, because that's insane. You've got bands who probably have like millions of followers, and when they do their album, they lock themselves away for 95 days. If Twitter were to let that Twitter handle go, holy shit.
I got one.
What's that?
Video games that like release patch notes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Or any software company for that matter. Guess what? They don't always release a patch every 30 days.
It's true, and they're always heavy marketing before the release, but afterwards, like you said, if there's no patch notes, then chances are you're not going to see anything, unless they have to unfortunately address some crazy ass bug crash.
Yeah, so like whoever's posting their patch notes might not log in, until the next release is ready or whatever the case is.
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah, this is I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of people be like, where'd my Twitter account go?
Yep. If that's truly the case, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lord. Oh,
Hmm.
Twitter. You crazy, crazy people.
Well, I think that's a singular people person there, but
Yes.
who's counting?
And just I guess rub salt in the wound of that crazy person. His rocket blew up like 2 weeks ago.
Oh no, not the
It
rocket.
successfully launched, but then went kablooey.
Well, that happens from time to time.
Yes. So, the next topic, and this one, of course, is ruffling quite a few feathers, is that the head of EA, a lovely organization, claims that AI represents a significant opportunity in the industry while downplaying the fear of worker redundancy. So basically, the head of EA is going, well, you know what? We don't have to pay AI. So, yeah, AI is a good thing.
Welcome to the future of life.
We don't have to pay all those story writers. We just get what is it, GPT chat to write those. We don't need any artists because we'll just use whatever the AI art things are.
Will the games be more or less actually complete when they come out?
Uh, that's a good question. I don't know because as of right now, I don't think AI can actually program to the extent. So that's still going to be a bottleneck. Sorry, you got to actually use human coders.
But who codes the humans?
God? Some
Mm.
mysterious being upstairs who looks down on you every day?
Wahahaha.
Yeah, I don't see. It's like I'm surprised that well, actually, I'm guessing Activision and Blizzard is just too busy trying to get their merger ratified by every single country on Earth to add to this discussion. But I would not be surprised if Activision Blizzard are like, we stand with EA on this, and then Ubisoft. I wouldn't be surprised if Ubisoft were to jump on that as well.
Oh, and this one, yeah, I'm sure they're all in on this.
Yeah.
I have very little doubt of that.
Yeah. Speaking of Ubisoft, the latest Assassin's Creed has been delayed again.
There's an Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, there's gonna be another Assassin's Creed game.
Am I supposed to be excited about this?
I don't know.
No.
It's not really. I don't think it's really uh, your type of game. I mean, it's more of our good friend Jesse's type of game because he likes
Okay.
the historical aspects of it. Even though you could kind of change history with some of your actions, but still, it's based in historically accurate locations. So there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, AI is cool. However, I mean, we're literally trying to sprint to Skynet at this point.
Yeah. I mean, most tech companies had already used AI in some form or fashion,
Right.
usually in the form of like automation behind the scenes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Which makes sense because there's certain things that just makes more sense for a computer to do that you can just automate. I think when it comes like to the decision making skills, as far as like how do we actually make this choice of, I don't know, giving this orca a sword or sealed, and what do they look like? You start getting into the human psychology nature part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where people get probably more worried.
If you remove the human psychological element from design, that's creepy.
I know, but that's I don't know.
I mean, we got the internet. It's got an endless repository of information, stories, art, music,
yeah.
and AI is getting smarter. So you don't need composers anymore because AI will make you an original soundtrack.
Who owns the copyright then?
The company, the publisher.
What if I publish it myself? I'm just going to go on to AI and have it in like a giant for loop and create every possible like 8-second track. And then that way, if any band produces like any music going forward, I'm going to say they sampled it.
Sounds like a plan. But you got to make it available.
I'm going to use AI to basically game the system.
Yes. And I'm sure there's going to be people who've done it or who are doing it.
Oh, yeah.
But people, I mean, to be honest with you, at the end of the day, the AI stuff, it definitely has benefits, but also hurts the smaller companies, and the little man. So,
well, I guess the counterpoint would be AI using something like ChatGPT can give the little man a leg up by giving him resources and intelligence that they would not be able to get otherwise.
True. You could have the chat program create kind of a game script for you. I know that there's a couple people I know who've utilized it to help them create campaigns for tabletop.
That actually makes a lot of sense, to be honest.
Yeah, because for those of you out there who've never been a game master or dungeon master or storyteller, whatever it is, the person who crafts the adventure for you, it takes a long fucking time to set that up. And I mean, there's if you want to go virtual, there's a lot of good virtual stuff out there to do, like digital representations and create maps and line of sight and what do you call it?
Dice rolls,
view distance, and dice rolls, yeah, of course. Yeah. So yes, there are good things with AI, but I don't. I would hate to watch people lose their jobs because of AI. I think that AI is a great assisting tool, but I don't want to remove the human element. In my personal opinion, I do not want to remove the human element from the products that I love and enjoy.
I think most of us look at it that way. The conundrum is you then have the people all the way at the top of the pyramid scheme who don't give one iota of a heck about that.
Yep.
And all they care about is the moonies. So then it becomes very tricky in that regard.
I was just thinking about there's an author that I've been reading recently. I want to say his name is Orlando Sanchez. I think that's right. And
is that his AI name?
No, but he has, I swear to God, he's got a couple of Word files that he copies and pastes into every single one, because I've now gotten to the point, because I'm on book 9 or 8 of one of his series, and so when they're describing like an organization, I'm like, okay, I could skip that paragraph because it's the same paragraph in every book. When he describes something, because I understand the concept, because you don't know if an individual is actually read up to that point or if they just grabbed that book. So the safer thing to do would be to explain. But oh my God, because I've been seriously just pounding through those books, it gets so old to have to read the same paragraph to describe a certain character or organization or something every single book. But I'm sure it makes it easier to meet your word count.
Oh, yes. The eternal balance between, do you repeat what you've talked about in previous books, or do you just assume that the readers know what they've read in the previous books?
True, and I know that there are authors out there who also reiterate stuff, but not to the extent of this author. Like,
there's definitely a balance between kind of like you're saying, just like repeating entire paragraphs is one thing, versus acting like the previous books have nothing to do with it. So there is kind of a I think a good middle ground.
Yeah.
Between the two.
Yeah. All right. The next topic that we have is for all you Hogwarts Legacy people out there. Apparently, there has been a good amount of users who have had some panic attacks because of a certain creature in Hogwarts Legacy, and that is spiders. And so, in true Harry Potter fashion, or I guess Hogwarts fashion, there is a new option that is now available called Arachnophobia mode. It takes away the spider's noises and the look of the spider. It doesn't remove, well, it doesn't technically remove spiders. Spiders are still in the game. However, they are basically glowing-eyed balloons with roller skates.
Nice.
And so basically, you're looking at a skin change to make them basically what Harry Potter did with the ridiculous spell. Because apparently there's a lot of Ron Weasleys out there who get freaked out with all the spiders, which I was so overpowered by the end of the game that if I ran into a spider, it was like a couple spells and then I move on.
Yeah. I mean, I can appreciate them taking that move that they technically did not have to.
Yep.
To do that. So I think that's actually kind of a cool thing that they did something completely not necessary to help out some gamers with the arachnophobia.
But I wonder if that opens up the door for like other fears.
Yes.
Some people do have, in my opinion, irrational fears. However, I mean, that's basically what a phobia is. So,
according to me, any fear is irrational. Yeah. Except for
yours.
I'm not going to tell you my phobia.
I ain't telling you my phobias either. Mine are totally rational, though.
There you go.
They're backed up by science.
Science!
For the win!
Yeah, it's what I'm annoyed because it's a game I want to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know me, I usually wait for games to go on sale.
Yep.
But I have a feeling this would be a game you'd be waiting on for a while to go on sale.
Well, because it's turning huge profits for WB Games.
Yeah, so like they have no incentive.
Yeah, to drop the price.
Yeah, which makes sense. So it's like, yeah. I can always hope it comes to PS Plus, but I doubt it. Anytime soon, at least.
Yeah,
eventually.
Eventually, yeah, but I wouldn't guess anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, crap, I can't remember who the fast food company is, but in celebration, I want to say it's McDonald's or maybe it's Burger King. I can't remember which one, but in celebration of the new Into the Spider-Verse movie, they are making a bright red bunned burger, which just, I'm sorry, it looks like angry red Hulk. And that's got the amount of food dye and other chemicals to make it that red has got to jack up your stomach.
You mean kind of like Mountain Dew?
No, Mountain Dew is no.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No.
And that the red comes from somewhere. It's not Harry's.
Well, Mountain Dew has so many other positive properties that, we overlook some of their shortcomings.
Red sugar.
Exactly. It's just, Anyways, so there's just going to be a bright red burger that's going to come out when the new Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie actually comes out.
That is quite the crossover. They want to make it realistic. They have spider webs in the sandwich too.
What is this crunchy Flavor. Oh, those are houseflies.
Thanks
Extra
for that.
protein.
I'm no longer thirsty for my beverage.
Mm.
I thought I tasted something funny in it earlier.
Yes. It is very odd.
My phobia is coming true.
Oh, boy. Flies in the beer. Actually, I think Stone Temple Pilots was flies in the Vaseline, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
I'd have to pull up my memory cobwebs from 20, 25 years ago.
Anyways, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick pause to thank the amazing friends of the show. These are the individuals that help Ultra Confusion be the best Ultra Confusion it can be. So without further ado, let us give some shout-outs. The first shout-out is going to be to the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. The next shout out we got to give is to the one and only Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media, previously Wet Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/noodleboymedia. Of course, the next shout out we got to give is to an amazing individual who helps get those aches and pains out of your gamer tired body, and that, of course, is Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore, the company's focus of elevating a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. Now, the next one we got to give a shout out to is the Maestro, and we actually have his brand new logo. Ladies and gentlemen, CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content, just like Ultra Confusion. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. Now, of course, the last shout out we got to give is to the original patron, and that would be Agile Axiom. By day, Axe leads both a development team and system administration team working with satellites at NASA's Goddard campus. But while not in meetings and many times during, he is the Agile evangelist Agile Axe, championing the philosophy of Agile and trying to make the world a better place for software developers, testers, system admins, and software projects the world over. Decades of experience in software development and leading Agile teams are brought to bear against evil processes, inefficient work, and bad habits. For more information and to check out his book, go to agileaxiom.com. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that you are just dying to know, how do I become a friend of the show? Well, it's quite simple. Ladies and gentlemen, Ultra Confusion survives in the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, lovers, haters, demigods, interdimensional beings, gods, demons, aliens, vampires, zombies, mummies, supporters, and more to become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability we need to build an even stronger creative career. We currently have two different tiers. There's the $1 tier, which gains you access to all the early access to all the playthroughs, as well as the ability to partake in patron-only posts and polls. Now, if you're feeling extra spicy, sorry, that's $1 a month and $12 a year. If you're feeling extra spicy, we've got a $5 tier. That's $5 a month, $60 a year. Not only do you get everything at the $1 tier, but you also gain your name or organization added to the friends of the show for every single Thursday night hangout. So if you want to become a patron of Altered Confusion, go to Patreon, that's patreon.com/Altered Confusion. Now, the other personal shout out that Altered Confusion has to give is Altered Confusion is proud to say that we have been fundraising for Extra Life for 12 straight years. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best. Game. To help sick and injured children in their chosen Children's Miracle Network hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the kids they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion. It's insane that we've done this for 12 years. Extra Life's been around for 13, and we've been doing Extra Life for 12.
That's 12 days in the last 12 years that you've gone with no sleep, sir.
I don't have children. I'm sorry. I don't have children as old as 12. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, so I've been doing Extra Life longer than I've had kids. And I continue to do Extra Life after having kids. How about that? That's probably the bigger accomplishment.
You're lucky that you have a very loving family who allows you to do these crazy things.
Yeah. You're right. You're so right. All right. So here's a bit of news. Twitch has banned PewDiePie.
No!
Now, to be totally honest with you, Twitch has never been PewDiePie's main platform of choice. It's always been YouTube. And of course, Twitch being Twitch, their reason for doing so is they didn't give a reason. They just did it, which they continue to do with random streamers. Now, the real reason, a lot of people think that it has to do with the fact that he is streaming content that is from another platform. Basically, what he did recently is he created a Twitch stream called PewDiePie Infinity. And basically what he did is he started streaming his entire playlist, which is over 3,000 hours of content, from his YouTube channel.
That's actually kind of funny.
So, and the thing is, users were actually, they were tuning in, and it was a very active chat room. PewDiePie wasn't responding, but yes, that's not uncommon. There are a lot of, well, I guess more YouTube live channels where, you've got your music or wherever, and the people that are in the chat room are just, I don't know, socializing or trying to give you, talk up some weird ass propaganda. But yeah, that seems to be a lot of people are pointing the finger at that.
Is his life shattered as we know it?
Oh yeah, he's oh yeah, that million viewers or million subscribers for Twitch compared to whatever the astronomical number is on YouTube. Oh yeah, he's done. I mean, he's got to be just heartbroken.
I don't know how he'll actually move on with life.
True. It's just devastating. No, seriously. Twitch and Twitter, I don't, they cannot get out of their own way. Well, Elon Musk is insane enough that we know that that's probably why they can't get out of their own way. But Twitch is owned by Amazon, and you would think that Amazon would know something, right? I mean, shit.
Well, I mean, I think the big thing with Twitch is the competition.
Yeah.
Like, they don't really have a very good incentive to improve their system. I do think it is a very different system you're dealing with when you're talking like Twitter, which are instantaneous reactions
Right.
and writings.
Right.
Like it's a very discreet little, 140 character versus streaming with all kinds of crazy content, with a lot of interesting personalities. It is two very different platforms to moderate in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got people like PewDiePie who are really trying to push that envelope of what are you allowed to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, there are people who push a lot harder than PewDiePie. I mean,
Fair. He's just the big name that we hear about.
oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I just find it funny that they,
I think for him, he probably just finds it more funny than anything else.
he's like, oh, yay, I got banned from something else. Okay.
Wonder like what was his number like on Twitch?
I don't know. I want to say that it was like 1.4 million.
That might be a few more than I have.
Yeah. PewDiePie. Hopefully I spelled that right. And then if you were to go to, let's say, his actual YouTube, he's got 111 million subscribers.
Damn.
So he's got 100 times the subscribers on YouTube that he did on Twitch.
Still more than me, but it's okay.
So, gosh darn.
Someday I'll catch up with him.
Yes, absolutely, Zealeus. Shoot for the stars, dude. Shoot for the stars.
I'm just going to have like a recurring loop of followers. It's going to create like an infinite for loop to increase my viewer count. That works, right?
There's companies out there that if you pay them, they'll give you the viewers you're looking for.
Ooh, that's what I've been missing out on all my life.
Yeah.
I'll get right on that.
I'll bet you will. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's like right now I'm looking just for fun, like at the top streamers on Twitch, according to like the view counts. I know like 3 of the top 20.
That's about right.
Like, yeah, I don't know who any of these people are. And probably those are just literally because they were Overwatch at one time. It's
Yeah.
really the only reason I know who they are.
Oh, speaking of Overwatch, apparently there's some kind of big event that they're Overwatch 2, there's a big event that's coming up that I think is centered more around PvE, and people are like what's been shown is absolute garbage.
That's all.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to find the story quickly, but I don't know. There it is. Overwatch 2 Star Watch AI behavior worries fans about upcoming PvE content. The event adds an AI-controlled Doomfist, though its lack of general intelligence worries fans for the upcoming PvE event.
You just need to hire ChatGPT. Hey, ChatGPT, write an intelligent Doomfist.
He just walks around and just occasionally goes, "Oh shit, I've got a weapon. Let me do something."
Yeah, I was on the fence about Diablo, and I'm definitely waiting. I thought about it, but just with all of their seems like terrible decisions lately, I'm like, I'm just gonna wait a little bit and see what happens.
Didn't Blizzard recently want to like talk about their marketplace? Is that right?
Their what?
The way that they're going to do their market.
They probably did. I didn't really pay attention.
Well, if Zealeus is going to hold off on it, then I'll hold off on it. But to be honest with you, I wasn't going to buy it anytime soon, anyways. So.
I thought you weren't. Yeah.
Let's be honest. That was not going to be. That wasn't going to happen.
That's fair.
I've got
totally
other games to play. So.
Yeah, well, I just saw some unfortunate news.
And that is?
That this is the week sale for what's the stupid publisher name? Paradox Interactive.
Oh boy.
I know. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I actually already have one game in my cart I need to buy.
Oh, Zealeus. Oh no.
One of the Anyo games.
Oh, that's good.
Well, they had it for free. They actually had a free trial on the PS5 that I tried.
Mm-hmm.
It may be just because we grew up in the keyboard and mouse era when it came to the strategy games.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't click for it wasn't like I didn't have any major issues with it. It wasn't like, oh no, this isn't working or this was badly implemented.
Yeah.
I think when we were raised on just playing keyboard and mouse with the Civilizations and the Railroad Tycoons and all these other types of strategy games, that's just what you're used to using. Or the Sim Cities, because it's really a Sim City.
Mm-hmm.
So just using the controller, just I'm just gonna wait till it goes on sale on the PC.
There you go.
So yes, I'll new 2070 will be somewhere in my next list of games to play.
Yeah.
Well, but it's on sale. It's hard
not
to.
Do it. Don't do it. I don't know.
Oh, it's too late, man. It's less than a Frappuccino, okay?
Oh, boy. And it's gone. It's a
hard to
done
say no.
deal. Zealeus has fallen.
Sorry, I got to go. My computer just decided to quit on me. There's something else it's making me do.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be installing something. I'm concerned. I'll have to investigate this. Hold down the fort for me.
It's actually taking up all my RAM and tubes, so I can't actually do anything else anymore.
Okay, speaking of taking up all the RAM and the tubes and all that stuff. So, as I stated last week, Star Wars Jedi Survivor has had some weird ass crashes for me. And so just for shits and giggles, I had the Taskmaster open. Or Task Manager. Oh, Taskmaster.
So you got a new program. What match do you have?
I had the Task Manager open, and literally Star Wars Jedi is maxing out my CPU.
Oh, that'll do it.
I'm watching it goes up to 98. I'm like, oh.
You have a bottleneck CPU. Congratulations, sir.
I'm trying to remember how old my PC is. And this is the danger that you run into when you get all your games on the PC versus a console, because the console, the stats really aren't changing. They might have an upgrade when they do I don't know, a PS7 Slim or an Xbox SF Pro X Journeyman's edition. Or the OLED, which is just really, graphics, for the Switch. But basically, you've already got the stats, and you can't go outside those stats. But with a PC, they could push the envelope.
Yep.
And I'm already running. I'm not running at. I'm running at what do you call it? Not. You can either make it really pretty, or you can make it
performance mode.
Yeah, performance mode. Yeah.
Yep. I had to think about it because the consoles all have the same thing now too. Performance versus high fidelity version.
Yeah.
But most people still go with performance because you get the better frame rate, regardless.
Yeah.
Most people find that a better frame rate is better than a few extra pixels on the screen, which you may or may not even notice.
No, I notice it all. I use a magnifying glass on all of my games.
You must have some pretty sweet glasses there, sir.
Dude, they're amazing.
Mm.
At least that's what I'm going to tell
Pixel
myself.
perfect glasses.
Yeah.
Now there's a marketing scheme I'm surprised we haven't seen.
Yeah. This is true. This is very true. So there's that game that's coming out. I don't know when the hell it's actually coming out, but it's called Starfield.
Mm.
And there's been an ESRB update. It's going to be mature. And a lot of sites have already jumped to the conclusion of there's going to be jetpack sex.
What?
Well,
that took a left turn.
Yeah. I was like, okay, yeah,
Huh.
sure. I mean, okay.
I wonder how the Rocketeer would feel about this.
Ooh, as long as you don't have a bullet hole in your rocket.
That's what she said.
Hey, now. That would hurt.
Ow. Yeah. There could be lots of chafing.
I have heard that the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is getting as close to perfect scores on all of the early reviews.
Oh, I know what game Charlie's getting next.
I don't know what you're talking about, Zealeus. No way, Jose.
Uh-huh.
So, here's a question for you, Zealeus. How many Zelda games have you actually played? Have you ever played a Zelda game?
What's the one in the Ocarina of Time?
Ocarina of Time.
I played that many, many years ago. They just don't get that itch for me. I know people love them. I know they're adored, but something about the Zelda series, it just doesn't scratch the itch for me like it does other people. It's not like I have anything like I can point at. I can't be like, this is the mechanic or the reason I hate these games. They just don't do it for me.
I'm going to pull up the list of games here and see, because I can't remember.
You probably played most of them.
I never played the original.
Oh.
But I played The Adventure of Link, and I played Link to the Past, which was the SNES one. I did not play Link's Awakening. I did play Ocarina of Time. I never played Majora's Mask. I never played Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages, which I think were for handheld. Actually, I'm pretty sure that I never played any Zelda handhelds. No, that's not true. I played one, Phantom Tracks. Four Swords was awesome. The Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Phantom Hourglass. Did I play Phantom Hourglass? Yeah, I did. Skyward Sword. Breath of the Wild. Yeah. So I've played a good chunk of the Zelda games.
Remember, I play like an adventure type of Zelda game. I'd actually rather play like either a more JRPG game, like a Tales game, or just go play a hack and slash game. Which I know Zelda's aren't hack and slash, but it's in that same kind of go beat up monster type of game, action game. So I just go then basically straight to like a Diablo or something.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So there is a dude out there who has been playing Elden Ring basically since the beginning, and he has been keeping a journeyman's journal. He's played for 480 days straight.
What?
Yep. So he's got this long ass journal of his trek through Elden Ring, which is just nuts.
Hasn't he already trekked through it like more than once?
I don't know.
This is like going into like Mordor 18 times and you take a different path each time you go in.
Maybe. I'm not sure. Oh, by the way, here's some of some of the dialogue for the ESRB mature rating for Starfield. Life is a sexually transmitted disease that's 100% fatal. I'm all for getting a little wild, but next time let's try it without jetpacks. That's why everyone says jetpack sex.
Well, there you go.
And talk about seeing stars. Woo! That was amazing.
I guess we'll have to see what actually happens when it comes out.
If it actually comes out. I mean, because it was originally I think it was already supposed to have come out. Let me just check.
It'll come out. Don't you worry, sir.
Because it's coming out for, they're saying September 6th.
See, there you go. You can come join the constellation and be a part of the world of Starfield.
And don't get me wrong, it looks amazing. It's from Bethesda, so, you know. Yeah, it was supposed to be released November 11th, 2022.
Well, it all boils down to the question of how long do you delay a game before it's ready to release?
You don't want to Duke Nukem it.
Yeah.
Still waiting on that StarCraft Ghost.
I think you'll be waiting a little bit longer than that, sir.
Well, they finally officially announced that thing has been canceled.
Quite a while ago.
Yeah, but still. I like to jokingly bring it up from time to time because it's the only game that you could kind of compare to Duke Nukem Forever. Although, when Gearbox bought the rights to it, they're just like, you know what, fuck it. Just the game's going to suck, but let's just publish it so that we can end this long-ass, weird adventure.
Well, one of them at least came out.
What'd you say?
Duke Nukem at least came out.
That's true. It's very true. It did come out.
Apparently it was terrible.
Oh, yeah. I own it. It's bad. It's really bad.
Nice.
Well, part of the problem was that the chauvinistic pig stuff was fun in the original Duke Nukem, and now we've got more sensitivity about certain things, and so Duke Nukem just wasn't the type of game that it is not as widely accepted.
So you say it did not age well?
No. Although the reason why it took so long is that the new graphics engines kept coming out, and so they kept redoing it to make it look as pretty as possible.
Yeah, I saw a lot of game developers are thinking of eschewing their own in-house engine and just going straight to Unreal 5.
Yes. Well, that's isn't that what goddamn it, Project CD Red?
Yeah, and there was a rumor that Destiny was going to also for Destiny 3, supposedly.
Which, I mean, that having been in the development side, that alleviates a shit ton. I understand the want and desire for a custom engine because that engine is built specifically to get the best out of your game. However, when you have amazing engines like the Unreal one, you can focus more on polishing the issues that might arise through using that engine instead of having to recraft the engine and not being able to work on the game.
True, but aren't you also then reliant on Epic Games to also fix bugs versus doing it yourself? So if you find something groundbreaking, you also have to wait for another developer to fix that bug that you found instead of just doing it yourself.
True. However, while you're waiting, you can have your developers continue to polish the stuff that isn't causing the issue. Whereas if you had the graphics engine, your own custom graphics engine, you would have to halt all of the other development.
Sure.
So
I think that one of the big things, like from a non-technical perspective, is also potentially reducing the number of engines in terms of creating like a video game engine monopoly.
Yeah.
So sometimes having that competition to help raise the, bar, which granted Unreal 5's done a great job at.
Yep.
You still want to have the competition to force them to continue to do that.
Yeah, obviously. Well, I mean, it really comes down to licensing fees then.
Which, from what I've read, is not cheap.
No.
But still probably cheaper than hiring your own, to your point, having your own labor force in development and all that stuff. Sure as hell ain't cheap either.
Well, okay, so I've got a great example. I guess a cautionary tale. One of my earliest uh, Kickstarter projects, which I can't remember the name, Elysian Shadows,
Oh
I
yeah.
think is what it's called. The only thing that ever came out of that was a very customized graphic engine.
Ooh.
That was it. Still waiting for it to come out on the Ouya.
You mean the next gen 2D RPG for Dreamcast and Steam and ooh yeah.
Yep, that's the one. Fun times. Fun times. Haven't kickstarted anything recently.
I do like. I was looking at their Kickstarter where they actually had an update in 2017
Mhm.
that they're ready to rock out for some more development of Elysian Shadows.
Yep.
And then nothing.
Well, apparently one of the lead developers left because he was so pissed. And if you had, I of course missed my window, but if you had hit him up, he would have given you a free copy of the game that he helped create when he left that failed project.
Which is what game?
What's up, Johnson? I wish that we had the ability to call into the show, but we don't have that hooked up right now. But if you have a question or a comment or any thoughts, you could just drop it in the chat. Yeah. But yeah, he got the guy behind it just got so wrapped up in making it look as pretty as possible. And so it never got finished. And then another one that I started finally gave updates called Delver's Drop. I thought that it died, or I had missed I somewhere missed the email to give me the code to the game that's non-existent. But they're actually going back and starting up the project again because the early Kickstarters, no one thought of cost of living when they factored in how much money it was going to cost. They only factored in the bare minimum of development fees, which, going to be totally honest with you, that's never the way to do it. you want to overshoot, not undershoot. And also, you need a very developed product before you try to kickstart or Indiegogo or crowdfund your project.
Well, I mean, we've discussed it a number of times on the show, but it's also this landscape's changed so much since like the 6 years, for instance, from Elysian Shadows.
Yep.
Where you could put on there a hope and a prayer, basically, of video games, and people are like, "This is the coolest thing ever," because at the time that's what it was. It was a potpourri of cool, unique games that we had not seen before, and it seemed like it was great. And there's a lot of publicity around them within the Kickstarter realm.
Yep.
But then, to your point, we realized, oh shit, these games actually cost like money and expertise and other things to kickstart.
Yeah.
And of course,
what
a
are
lot
your
of
thoughts on the Rosa Parks Kickstarter scandal?
What?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Rosa Parks Kickstarter. What the? Rosa Parks and RBG Murals. To provide additional art and inspiration to Tallahassee's French Town neighborhood. No, is this? Could this be it? Are they crowdfunding to add murals to downtown Florida?
I'm so confused.
I mean, I think one of the problems that you're going to have every single time you kickstart every single time that you kickstart something in honor of an individual, you know, you have to okay it with whatever you know, trust or foundation owns that likeness. And to do it without doing that is big no-no. Georgia Tech actually has a statue of Rosa Parks sitting on a bench in the middle of campus. And apparently that was a very long, drawn-out process to get permission to just even honor, you know, Rosa Parks.
Well, in this case, I find it more funny that's in Florida, of all states, considering
Lord.
what's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Florida, especially Florida and Disney, just, you know, going at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you always got to be careful about. It's nice to do things to honor amazing individuals who shaped history, but you also need to have a lot of permission in order not to get your ass sued. Like you can't do you could do. It really comes down to if you're trying to raise for profit. That's really what it is. I'm pretty sure that if, you know, if Ultra Confusion were to write up something about, you know, a pioneer in the video game industry, that would be fine. But if I wrote a book about a pioneer in the gaming industry and they tried to sell it, I may get in some problems.
You just got to make it juicy enough to have a lawyer to want to defend you.
It's a scandalous book about the dark underbelly of the video game industry.
They're public figures. It's fine.
Centered around Activision.
Oh, dear. How many pages you got to write about Mr. Kotnick?
I don't think there's a book that could contain the nastiness that continues to get swept under the rug with that company.
I think this should be your investigatory route and actually find out.
As much as I would love to, I think I would physically become ill with some of the shit that they do or have done.
Maybe there's only one way to find out.
No, not doing it, Zealeus. You look like a couple of. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You're very welcome, Grand Theft Rust. Then again, you did catch us right at the end of the show, so thank you for tuning in. But yeah. Anywho, speaking of the end of the show, I think we have reached the end of the show. By the way, if anyone out there wants to catch the whole show or any of the previous shows, all you got to do is download the podcast from your favorite podcast provider, or of course you go to our YouTube channel and you can watch the video.
Indeed.
Yes. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zealeus, it's been a pleasure giving you our heads, our mouths, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother.